Hello and welcome back to Science Simplified. In this video, we're going to explore protein synthesis, including the different steps and why this process is vital in the body. So let's jump in. Let's first begin with what protein synthesis is and why it's important. Protein synthesis is the process done in the cells of all living things in order for them to build proteins for their bodies. And this process is crucial because proteins are macromolecules that help with nearly all body functions, like growth, repair, metabolism, and more. They build body structures, and they're how DNA gets expressed into actual characteristics. Protein synthesis occurs in two main steps: transcription and translation. So let's delve deeper into these stages. Protein synthesis begins in the nucleus of the cell with transcription, which is when a strand of mRNA that's complementary to a strand of DNA is created. Since DNA is such a large molecule and needs to stay protected, it can't leave the nucleus, which is why mRNA is created to basically copy a gene from DNA and carry that code to build a certain protein to the ribosomes. Transcription starts with enzymes unzipping the DNA double helix. Then one strand of DNA serves as a template, which is the strand that's read, and the mRNA will be complementary to the template strand. And the other DNA strand is called the coding strand, which isn't read, but it will have the same sequence as the mRNA made, except thymine would be replaced with uracil. Next, an enzyme called RNA polymerase binds to the DNA and attaches the correct complementary RNA nucleotide bases onto the template DNA strand to make mRNA with the right nucleotide sequence that corresponds to the template DNA strand sequence. Once that specific gene has been entirely coded into mRNA, the mRNA strand is released and leaves the nucleus to go to the ribosomes for translation. The two strands of DNA are zipped back up together into a double helix again until another gene needs to be transcribed later.
The second step in protein synthesis, translation, begins at the ribosomes. When the mRNA strand arrives at this organelle, it attaches to the bottom, small subunit of the ribosome, and the start codon of the mRNA is located. The start codon is almost always in the sequence AUG, which codes for the amino acid methionine. Once the start codon is located, a tRNA with the correct anticodon picks up the amino acid that the mRNA codon codes for, from a pool of free-floating amino acids in the cell's cytoplasm. Those amino acids could be made by your body, obtained from food you eat, or come from breaking down other unneeded proteins. Then that tRNA molecule returns to the ribosome with the amino acid and connects to the start codon of the mRNA. The ribosome continues moving down the mRNA strand to read the sequence by its codons, and tRNA molecules with the correct complementary anticodons continue bringing the right amino acids so they get connected in the correct order. The top large subunit of the ribosome helps form peptide bonds between the amino acids to form a protein. And when the stop codon is reached on the mRNA sequence, that means that the protein is finished. Then that protein is released from the ribosomes and can go do its job in the cell or other part of the body. In summary, protein synthesis occurs in all living things cells in order for them to make proteins to carry out vital body functions. It begins with transcription, which is when DNA unzips and one strand is used to make a complementary mRNA strand that has the correct nucleotide sequence for a certain gene. Then the mRNA leaves the nucleus and goes to the ribosomes, where the mRNA sequence is read in codons, and tRNA with the matching anticodon gets the correct amino acid and binds to the correct codon on mRNA. All those amino acids are binding together by peptide bonds to form a protein, and then that protein is released to go do its job in the cell or other part of the body. I hope you like this video and learned something new. Thanks for watching Science Simplified.